Thanks for tuning in to SCSU Local. I'm your host, Nissan Brown.
And I'm Ramona Morozes. You're watching SCSU Local, news and events from across Minnesota, brought to you locally.
SCSU Local starts now.
Two Minnesota state colleges and universities have been adopting restrictions on smoking and tobacco use. Some institutions like St. Cloud Technical College are tobacco-free, and soon St. Cloud will also become completely smoke-free. Changes will take place and designated areas will be created. So we're going to talk about the costs of being tobacco-free.
Later, Melissa Kmeyer sits down and talks to one of the members of the Smoking Policy Review Task Force about the changes taking place on campus and its impacts. Let's see what happens.
Back in 2006, 2007, smoking seems to, in my years of work as a dean of students, smoking seems to come up a lot. Lots of students congregated around the front door, smoking at all the entrances and the main entrances. And then it started to accumulate a lot of litter. And pretty soon people were just bringing it forward to administration that the campus looks pretty ugly, it looks pretty uninviting. Have a lot of people smoking around the entrances, and caught the ear of our president. And it was you know what, let's take a look at this and let's start discussing it. And so after that initial year of kind of raising the awareness, then we had a discussion with Student Senate, and they kind of passed a resolution that said, you know something, let's review our smoking policy. So we went into the next year then with enforcing designated smoking areas. We narrowed down the designated smoking areas to only 3 places on campus. And again, we used kind of a humorous tone. These were the butt stops. They were the only 3 places that you could smoke on campus. Had a campaign, had a lot of signage. It was, here's where you're going to smoke. Some of the research shows that even with designated smoking, the quote is, if you let them smoke anywhere, they will smoke everywhere. And so the idea of going to a complete tobacco ban is really the only way you're really going to control the tobacco use. At this college, we care a lot about what students think. And like I said, we created this task force. We had lots of meetings with staff and faculty and students. And it came to a point that our faculty and staff said, if students agree to a tobacco-free campus, we aren't going to argue with them. Will comply. So that was basically their stance, and that's how it was. So as soon as our students, our student government passed their resolution for the new tobacco-free policy, it fell into place. Our casual discussion with students is pretty much smoke them before you get here.
Hi, I'm Melissa Kmeyer, sitting here with one of the members of our Smoking Policy Review Task Force, Mary Bongers. Thank you, Mary, for being with us today.
I'm glad to do it.
So, what is our current smoking policy, and where do we plan to go in the next year?
Okay, our current policy, which has changed from a year ago, is that there is tobacco use is strictly limited to designated areas and in your personal vehicle in a parking lot. A year from now, it will be completely tobacco-free, other than smoking in your personal vehicle in a parking lot, as long as it's not affecting anyone else's health and safety.
Why did the campus choose to go tobacco-free?
Well, MnSCU had requested all the campuses in the MnSCU system to take a look at their tobacco use policy, their smoking policy, whatever they had in place, and see if it was out of date, did it need to be updated in the interest of the health and safety of the users of the campus community. We were asked by the president to get input from the students and the staff about the possibility of changing our policy. And that was the educational and feedback information gathering piece. Once that was done, and we also researched the health issues around tobacco use and came to the conclusion that in the best interest of the health and safety of campus users that we would go tobacco-free.
How does going tobacco-free benefit the community and St. Cloud State?
Well, there's several benefits. I think in the health arena, one of the main benefits is people that have asthma or allergies to smoke, that this has made the environment much more healthy for them. It's also decreased our litter issue magnificently. It was terrible when you went near doorways. Besides the cloud of smoke, there was lots of trash on the grounds and stuff. And if you look around the campus right now, you can see that there's been a great improvement. And there's also, because we do have those designated areas for this interim year, there's also a much less trash and litter in the neighborhood around the campus also.
So where are the designated areas currently?
Okay, there's 21 designated areas. There's one almost by nearly every building. Some of the mainly used ones are over by the Miller Center near the library. That's a popular one. There's one outside Stewart Hall. There's at least one, I think there might be two outside Atwood where the student union. And they are well used. I checked them today a couple times. So.
What costs are involved with going tobacco-free?
We did get a grant that helped us with the cost of getting the feedback from the campus community about their feelings about tobacco use. That grant was used to do that work, to prepare to change the policy, to rewrite the policy. A lot of meetings were held. There was a lot of the student meetings provided snacks for the students, so some of the money went for that. The cost that we're looking at right now, which we've also been able to kind of tack on to the end of the grant, was ordering new signage for the campus. And if you look around, you can see a lot of the new signs are up already. We're still got a few to go. We did have to redesignate the smoking areas, the tobacco use areas, because some of them changed. So there's some staff time involved. There's a savings on one end, not as much litter to clean up, but on the other end, maintaining and putting up the signage, it does take staff time and resources. We also put up window clings on entrances to the buildings all over campus, wherever students and staff come and go.
Well, we spoke to some students here on campus about going tobacco-free. Let's take a look.
I think it's okay. I like it better than last year because last year in between my classes I would sit up here by Stewart a lot and like right underneath the sign where it said this is a no smoking area and people would be smoking on like both sides of me and it was, I don't know, I don't smoke so I thought it was disgusting, but I don't know, I like it better now this way. I think it's okay. I like this a lot better than it was before, so going completely to tobacco free is going to be, I don't know, just be fine. Not much different than it is now, I guess, for me anyway.
I feel that I understand why they wouldn't want to have it available so that people could smoke everywhere on campus, but I think it would definitely be reasonable just to keep the designated smoking areas on campus. Having it being, completely gone off campus would just be really inconvenient for a lot of the smokers here, and I feel like it's not really intruding on any non-smokers' lives by having designated areas.
I think that going smoke-free is a good idea because it makes our campus a lot cleaner. It's a lot nicer not having to walk through people standing by the door, blowing smoke in your face when you're going to class, and not having to see all the cigarette butts laying out all over the ground. So I think going smoke-free is a good idea.
I don't like the current smoking policy because I feel that in America these days our rights are being taken away little by little, and it's happening all around us. And I feel that this is a public facility and we should be able to smoke here because smoking is legal. I don't think it's right because I know that there's a lot of international students who smoke and they may choose to go to another college because of this. And I just feel that it's another one of our rights that are being taken away.
There are still different opinions here on campus about going tobacco-free. So what is the school going to do to students who don't comply to the smoking policy next year?
Well, the administration and the Tobacco Policy Committee is gone under the premise that it'll be a shared responsibility between the students, the employees, staff, and faculty to comply with the policy. The policy is not different from any other policy. There is, compliance is expected. We also are expecting your peers to encourage you to comply with the policy, employees and students both. There are some avenues to deal with it if there is non-compliance repeatedly. They are follow the same steps that you go through if there's any other student complaint. I believe it's reported to Student Life and Development for a student and a supervisor for an employee or staff person. And it will just follow the same steps and the same process now for when there's a student complaint about violating a policy. There is a PowerPoint on the Tobacco Policy website that will actually provide anyone interested on how to possibly encourage one of their peers to not use tobacco outside a designated area, or next year, no tobacco use. And it actually gives you hints on what to say and how to handle that situation. So it's very helpful. We've got it out there and hoping that people take a look at it.
Can you state again where they're allowed to smoke next year or use tobacco when we're tobacco free?
Okay, next year tobacco use will be allowed in personal vehicles in the parking lots. If they do not have that avenue, they have a whole year to think about where they will go to smoke or use tobacco after the designated areas go away. And they will go away on August 1st of next year. We're offering opportunities for them to quit and plan ahead. It's a year out, so 9 or 11 months now. So we do expect that people will have a plan for August 1st of 2012 when they can no longer smoke on campus property. We're hoping they, don't go out into the streets and things like that. But
what is the campus currently doing or going to do to help students who want to quit smoking next year?
Okay. Health Services has quite a few things in place, actually. They have, they've partnered up with the University of Minnesota on I think it's called Quit and Win, where if students make the commitment to quit and follow the certain steps and the criteria, they're actually offering some prizes and stuff from the U of M for that. They also have prescription assistance to quit using tobacco, such as the nicotine patches and Chantix and that type of thing. So they're setting up some training sessions on campus where someone will come in and meet with students that are interested in quitting as kind of a coaching and mentoring them through the process if they choose to quit without the assistance of medication and things.
Well, thank you again for being on the show with us today. And there'll be more SCSU Local after the break.
I wouldn't have been at this ceremony if I hadn't been at this ceremony first. Unfortunately, nearly 30% of U.S. high school students aren't making it to graduation. And every one of us, every parent, every friend, and neighbor, has the responsibility to provide the support and encouragement they need to make it through. Because we all need to see a lot more of these pictures.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.
Welcome back to SCSU Local. A two-man band called Rodeo Clown considers themselves different from other local bands. Ted Kane and Phil and Molt talk about the way they run their two-man band and how the method works in their favor. SCSU Local has more in the story.
I'm Ted.
And I'm Phil.
We're Rodeo Clown.
I've never been in love before.
It's about freshman year of college we started writing original music just for us, and so we're kind of on our 4th year as Rodeo Clown.
Those feelings I just can't ignore. Leave your troubled past behind. Follow these heavenly lights. 'Cause when you're with me, it's your opportunity to find a man who's strong and kind.
Well, I started playing percussion when probably 5th grade, just in elementary school band, and then kind of evolved to the drum set. And then when Phil and I started playing, at first it was just kind of keyboards and vocals, and I didn't really play anything, and then we decided to kind of expand our sound.
You'll never give your love a chance. You're missing out on romance. If you take a stand, I will grab you by the hand, and we can go and dance, dance. 'Cause there ain't any other way.
Phil and I think kind of pride ourselves about being a little different, because there's not many groups that just have 2 guys and a keyboard and a kick drum. So yeah, we like just trying something new and different, and I think that kind of sets ourselves apart from other local bands, and hopefully audiences and other people kind of appreciate and can gain something from watching and listening to us.
Baby, I want you to be mine. If this doesn't work,
Facebook and Twitter pages, at Rodeo Clown Music is our Twitter name, and we also have MySpace and I Like pages where you can stream our songs for free.
I Like is where you can download the songs for free directly into your iTunes, so that's really the place to be if you want to hear all that's been released with Rodeo Clown so far. Sort of about getting our music out. We're not a very profitable organization at this point, but just the more we can play and the more different people we can play in front of, the better for us. And maybe someday an album that might be down the road a little bit once we get a little more cash in our back pockets. But right now it's just about getting out there and playing.
you're mighty fine daily. I'm really glad you're mine, and soon we are gonna get married. Oh, JD, I've been thinking about you so much lately, because you're worth the time, baby. And I want you to be mine, and if this doesn't work,
Rodeo Clown, we're starting from scratch. We're starting with an idea on the piano, or a melody in our heads, and it's just fun to see that develop. And the ones that we're fortunate to record, that's even a greater feeling, and then playing it in front of people and hearing other people sing your music. I think, that's sort of the point where, you feel that you've done your job almost.
Those Rodeo Clowns are a pretty cool band. It's interesting how they managed to work together as a two-man band. Be right back after a quick break.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
St. Cloud State University has been recognized for many things and has won many awards, especially in sports. In order to keep that memory alive, SCSU keeps a Hall of Fame case. Our unique Hall of Famer, Jeff Passel, talks about being a part of the Hall of Fame wall. SCSU Local has more.
First, I really want to congratulate the other inductees being recognized here today. I'm so honored to be included with all of you, some of whom I watched play during your careers at St. Cloud State, Simona and Tony, and one I even got to play with in high school, Michelle. We were softball teammates for 1 year before I graduated from St. Cloud Tech. I would also like to thank the selection committee for paying tribute to alumni like myself. Although we never caught a pass or shot a basket or swam a lap for St. Cloud State, we live and love Husky athletics as if we have.
The St. Cloud State Hall of Fame ceremony is a very special event. I feel honored to be taking part in it and fortunate that they've asked me to come back time and again. I was really honored to be included in the class of 2007, something I never thought would happen to me. And I know that a lot of the folks who were inducted here today said some of the same things.
I thought I would just come up here and make sure that I just thanked everybody who had a hand in me becoming the athlete that I did. First, I thank God Almighty for blessing me with the talent and the ability to play. I truly thank my parents, my 3 parents who are here, my dad, my mother, and my stepfather, for all of their support with me playing basketball. More than just showing up at the gym, and it's the time away, it's the traveling, it's the financial obligation, and all the things that they did to support my career. So I thank you very much, and I'm very glad you're all here.
It's a special moment. It's a chance to look back on what they did and reflect on those years that many of us wish in a way we had back, being at St. Cloud State University. But then, at the same time, it never really leaves you. Each and every year, people get added to this prestigious organization, and like I said, it's just a treat to be able to be here and share the day with a lot of people.
It's truly remarkable when a business media professional like Jeff Passel comes back and shares his appreciation for school. You know, many people don't take the time to do things like that.
I agree. It's definitely good to give back.
Thanks for tuning in to SCSU Local, bringing you local news and events.
Tune in next week for more exciting stories of our area.
To hear more of these stories again, you can go to YouTube and search SCSU Local. See you next week.
The 9/11 Memorial will honor my partner and the officers who responded that morning.
It's for my brother.
And my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
It's about hope for the future.
So we always remember September 11th. For my husband who never came home.
And the first responders who saved my life.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
That we are united.
And that we are strong. Because the best of humanity can overcome the worst hate.
It's for all the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
I wouldn't have been at this ceremony if I hadn't been at this ceremony first. Unfortunately, nearly 30% of U.S. high school students aren't making it to graduation. And every one of us, every parent, every friend, and neighbor, has the responsibility to provide the support and encouragement they need to make it through. Because we all need to see a lot more of these pictures.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.